You have to watch the show and find out.
Tonight on the show, Johnny Cross and Paul Thomlinson. And now, your host, Jared Isaacs.
Hi there, hey there, hello and welcome to the Audio Roast. It's me, Jared Isaacs, your host of the Audio Roast, man. Thank you so much for stopping by, checking us out, and spending a little bit of your time right here with us today. We have got such a fun show. I'm so excited for both of our guests, Paul Thomlinson and Johnny Cross, as we talk all things soft rock from 1987. Boy, it's going to be a fun one. I was so excited. Before we do today's show, though, I want you to go right down there, hit that subscribe button. While you're there, turn on the notifications so that you get an alert anytime that we upload some content. There you go. Now that you subscribe, thank you. Don't forget, we've got a podcast available. If you like an audio-only version of what we're doing right now here and you don't want to stare at your screen and watch video, put in some earphones and listen to our sultry voices on a podcast. Wherever you find yours, just search for the Audio Roast. You can also check out our Patreon page, a fun way to support the show, patreon.com/Audio Roast. We've got all kinds of behind-the-scenes footage, extra content, bonus content. I don't know if we've got any merch over there, but, you know, check it out. Fun way to support us. You can also check out playlists available at the end of today's episode and most episodes. Just go to iTunes or Spotify and search for the Audio Roast. Check out our website, why don't you? It's at audioroast.com, your official one-stop shop for all things Audio Roast related. Be it 7 songs in 7 days rankings, that's a mouthful. Past playlists, past episodes, sponsor links. Josh?
Merch?
Oh, merch. Yeah, we've got stuff for sale over there. So if you want to buy something really cool that says Audio Roast, throw us a few bucks. We definitely appreciate that. Now it's time for everybody's most anticipated part of the show.
7 songs in 7 days.
Well, we are going to be ranking this list, and let me tell you, it's kind of a variety, and at the same time, it's exactly not. It's very hard rock, heavy metal, and I'm here for it. So we will start out with the number 7 spot from Scott Garmery. Scott, it didn't start in the number 7 spot. It just ended up there. This one is The Third Arm by Antimatter. That's all I got. That's all my notes say is, In the number 6 spot, from Chris Hankins, we've got The Battle of Conley and Billy by Diamond Rio. Chris, let's talk about this song, shall we? Started out very almost Ricky Skaggs-like. I'm like, man, this is some picking and some grinning. And then it kicked in, and I was like, oh, it's Diamond Rio. Kudos to any band that, if they play in a song that you haven't heard before and you can immediately tell who it is, sign of a good band. Good stuff. Number 5 spot from Stephen Cobb, we've got Wallow by As Everything Unfolds. And as a general rule, if your band name starts with the word as, probably not quite my cup of tea. Too modern, too new, too core. This one wasn't bad, though. It started out, and I was like, what are you doing to me here, dude? And then it kicked into the chorus. I don't know if that was even a female or if that was a guy singing those parts, but I enjoyed it. It was good. In the number 4 spot from Mike McWhorter, we've got Back in the Game by Airborne. Oh, yeah. Josh and I were digging on this. Airborne is one, I think I said this on Sunday's show, that it's a band that sounds so familiar to me, and I know that I know them somehow. I can't place what song it is that I know them from, but this song rocked. Very AC/DC-esque. Loved it a lot. And the number 3 spot from Christy Pressler, The Game by Motorhead. So we have Back in the Game and we have The Game. This one was obviously used by WWE wrestler Triple H, and it's a great song. It really is. I've dug this one for the last 15, 20 years. And then in the next number 2, whatever, yeah, number 2. That's what is after 3. We've got The Hunger by Vanishing Croon. This one sent to us by Brian Betancourt. Brian, my dude, wow. I dug this a lot. This one actually reminded me, okay, let's talk about this one. Had very much so Alice in Chains vibes. And then when it kicked in, it was kind of like, I'm going to go there. I'm going to say it almost had some Johnny Q. Public vibes. But good. Yeah, I don't know. No, it was good stuff. I enjoyed it a lot. And I like the different progressions. I always like music that goes somewhere and kicks it up another notch. Emerald Goss, anybody? And then in the number 1 spot from Mike McCorder, I've Got the Fire by Kissin' Dynamite. You guys need to check the song out. It's killer. The lead singer gives me David Bowie, gives me David Coverdale, gives me... I said that it kind of reminded me of the new singer from 2007 or whatever it was, from NXS is what it sounds like. But dig it, man. Good song, good band. Now it's your turn to use the hashtag 7 and nominate your song. It could be any song from any genre, any style, or any decade. Just make it a song. We'll take the next 7 days, give it a listen, give it a rank. Because it's rock and roll, man. Let's do this. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this.
Hey guys, it's Dominic Gabriella.
And I'm Adam Bass.
I am Karina.
Ron Preston here.
I'm Nikki. And we are here on the scene at Mother's Brewing Company at Area 71, the Outland Ballroom at Odyssey Lounge. You know what time it is. But you know what time it is. You know what time it is. It is time for us to let you know what our top picks are for this upcoming weekend and week. So let's get to it. So let's get to it. So let's get to it.
Well, hello there, everybody. Man, I am so excited for the show, but I hope I'm not doing it alone. Josh Ua, are you here with us?
I am here. How are you, sir?
Doing well, doing really well. We're going to start the show off right, shall we? Let's see
do
here.
it. Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor.
Hello,
I wondered
Governor.
if we weren't going to go up and across the sea and up north a little bit.
We're going to talk about soft rock today.
Soft rock, eh?
Soft rock today.
There you go. Here I
Right.
go down south again.
Yeah.
Going down to
always
Australia and such.
Yeah. Always turn. Stop. Okay.
Yeah, that went south in every possible
Yeah.
way.
It's going to devolve into something unseemly.
It did indeed. Josh,
Yeah.
why don't you tell the fine folks watching along at home on YouTube
Yeah.
what's in our mug?
Let's take a look.
It's all about the at the end.
Yeah. It's Back in Black. It's a Guatemalan blend with notes of brown sugar, caramel, and a hint of lime. And I don't know why I did jazz hands, but I did.
Well.
There you go.
We think we're doing a Broadway show? I don't.
Spirit Fingers.
Spirit Fingers. And it's not a Halloween show, so no spirit.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got soft rock in store for us today.
We do.
Tell us that maybe don't believe
Mm-hmm.
that there's a difference between easy listening and soft rock.
Yes. Easy listening is like Barry Manilow or Kenny G, right? Wouldn't you say that? Would you?
I'll agree with that.
Yeah. Soft rock is like Steely Dan. Kind of, sort of, kind of in that rock vein, but
Mellower.
yeah, Hall and Oates type of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I would say. Air Supply, soft rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say a lot of the catalog from Yacht Rock
Yeah, I'd say there was some crossover.
is very soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Good
soft.
thing.
rock.
Otherwise, I'm wearing this ridiculous outfit for nothing.
I thought you just dressed that way normally.
Well, I do.
Yeah.
I've got no pants on, so that's the normal part.
Hey, that's two of us. That's how we roll
That's
at the
how we
audio
roll.
roast.
That's how we roll. So normally this is a time where we would go to the mailbag, but guess what, Josh?
We haven't got anything in our mail sack.
Running on empty.
Yeah.
Yep. So what we're going to do is remind you yet again to go down in the comment section and use the hashtag 7 and give us some songs that we can nominate for you to nominate for us to rank on that spot that we just did a minute ago with 7 songs in 7 days.
We are scraping the bottom of the barrel, folks.
We really are.
Mhm.
We literally have scraped the bottom of the barrel and the bucket's back at 0. While you're there in the comment section, say hi, ask us a question. We'll
Right.
answer it on the show.
If it's not too personal, we'll answer.
If it's too personal, send us an email at questions@audioroast.com, and we'll keep you anonymous.
Yeah.
How's that sound? Got love questions?
Yeah.
We'll answer it. Got music questions? We'll answer it.
Or at
Wanna
least
know which
fight about
brand
it.
of underwear to wear? Josh will answer it.
Yeah. Haynes his way.
Smells like fruit of the loom in here.
No. It's the boxer briefs. That's
Boxer briefs or boxers or briefs?
boxer briefs.
Oh,
Yeah.
you like the hybrid.
I do.
You know, they say that's a sign of old age, middle age.
No, it's not.
Yeah, because
That's
when you
whitey
start
tighties.
young,
Whitey tighties are the old age. Yeah.
okay. I think that's what most kids start in. Just saying.
Whitey tighties?
Mhm.
Okay.
I think.
What? What is the hip underwear for men today? You would know, right?
I do. It's very militant.
Militant.
Mando, baby.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't believe me? Just ask Jay Stevens.
See, I thought his were Speedos. I think we have evidence of that.
We
too.
do have somewhere, it might not even be Patreon safe, but
No.
somewhere we've got footage of Jay Stevens all out. Still have PTSD from that. Or something.
Yeah.
like
So
that. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back and meet today's guest. What do you think?
I think that's a plan, dude. Let's do it.
Sounds good. We'll be back right after this.
Classic rock coffee. It's coffee that rocks, yeah. This ain't your typical coffee shop. It's Java with attitude, baby. From the moment you step onto the stage, you'll see, hear and taste the difference. We're rocking and roasting 7 days a week with guitars, amps, lights, burning wrists and groupies. We've got the best coffee, frappes, smoothies, protein shakes, pastries and sandwiches. Oh yeah, green M&Ms if you get backstage. Come on in and get a whole lot of love. Get the idea, my babies? Even if you don't love classic rock. Well, that's impossible. You're gonna love classic rock coffee. Check us out. Located at Kansas Expressway and Sunset.
Oh, hi. Welcome back. We've got a fun show in store, as I've said 36 times already, so let's keep things moving, shall we? Let's go ahead and welcome our first guest. You know him from Cross Entertainment. And, yeah, you know, if you know, you know. Welcome back from episode 6. That's right. back when I was doing this in the spare room of my apartment. Mr. Johnny Cross.
Oh my goodness. How you been?
I've been fantastic.
Fantastic, huh?
No, I'm lying. It's been terrible.
Been terrible.
horrible.
Just hate it.
It's like every day is a whole nother. Oh God. I roll out of bed. Of course, I got to get positioned and put my hand over here and like grab the wall and
You got your own
It's
your own
incredible.
thing.
I'd put a rope up there to pull myself up if I wouldn't hang myself.
Is that some kind of sexual thing? No, that's just how I got to sleep.
Listen, when you get to be my age, you're like anything sexual. Really.
Well, so wait a minute. Does that mean like when you're like 12, 13, 14, it happens, then it goes away, and then when you get older, it comes back?
No, I mean, when you're 12, 13, 14, it's like constant. And then all of a sudden, like from like 18 till 40, it just punches you in the face every now and then.
Yeah.
And then when you're 50, you're like, well, I had this dog when I was growing up named Shorty, and he used to chase every car in the neighborhood. Like, didn't matter what was going on. That car coming, he would know the car was coming before the car was coming. And he'd come darting out from underneath a bush or something and run that thing down the street. And then all of a sudden, like, there come a time when the car would be driving by and he's just sitting in the yard. Just watching the car go by. I'm in that stage
Right.
of life.
Gotcha. Yeah. That makes sense. It's a good analogy.
It's a lot of fun, really.
Oh my goodness. So what have you been busy with?
Working, booking shows, events, taking care of karaoke,
Yeah.
trying to get people to work in a time when nobody wants to work. It's been fantastic.
That is very tricky for sure.
It's, the whole time I've been doing this kind of stuff for a living, it's like I had a list this long as my arm of people just begging to work. And then COVID come around, and then everybody was like,
Right.
I could do without it.
Yeah.
Like, even people who were making a living at it before, it's like they're just,
Yeah.
I got other things going on.
Right. So the last time that you were on, like I said, episode 6, which would have been end of June 2020. So kind of at the very beginning of the pandemic.
Right. It
How
doesn't
is
feel like
that?
it's been that long.
I know, right? Well, to me, it really kind of
Right.
has.
Well, I mean, I stay up till 2:30, 3 o'clock every morning, so it's like life just seems to blow by. It's like at night, it's like drag.
Yeah.
Then during the day, I'm like, it's 3 o'clock. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's what it's gonna be like in my nursing home one day.
That's funny. I'm the opposite. Like, I'm like, God, is it 5 o'clock yet? And then I'm like, holy cow, why is it 3 a.m. already? The night flies by for me.
I actually have time disappear. Have you ever looked into like the whole alien abduction thing?
Oh no, do tell.
Yeah, it's like.
Are you into
time just
aliens?
Vanish. I listen. You wouldn't believe what I'm into.
Tell me more.
That's not based on any kind of experience or anything.
Okay.
Probably a little bit, maybe. But like, I don't know. Like, if I'm abducted, and then they drop me back off an hour later, how the hell do I know?
It's like an alien taxi service.
I can know up here what I saw, and then not really have any idea other than a sore butthole.
Right. Yeah. They don't charge your credit card; they charge their probe.
Right. I'm sure they've taken my DNA and like reformulated another planet.
I don't know if they want that, man.
Probably Johnny Crosses all over a planet far, far away. I'm okay with it.
Right. So how was the pandemic for Cross Entertainment? Did you guys take a dip, or did you stay pretty steady?
So much money.
Did you? Yeah. Well, I know because you do a lot of weddings and stuff, and I know many
Yeah.
people were putting off weddings and that
Did not
because
book
obviously
a
they want
wedding.
family there. And
I didn't book a wedding or event for almost a year and a half.
golly, man, ouch.
And that was, and like based on the previous history of Cross Entertainment, that's upwards of I don't know, 20 grand. Enough to put a really badass backyard in my house. One of those with the hot tub and the little bar and
Right, yeah, a place for a
Deck.
spaceship to land. Yeah.
sit out there and chill and not give a crap about life because I've got all this fancy, relaxing stuff. But no, yeah, I got a phone call that the city had announced they were going to shut down all the bars at midnight, and that was that.
Yeah.
And I have a day job where I'm a behavioral analyst supervisor, for developmentally disabled adults with psychological disorders. A lot of gotta get like a fur ball. But I, when my company, been my primary source of income for years, and then all of a sudden it was just gone overnight, and I could not get unemployment, couldn't get the entertainment unemployment, I couldn't get any of that stuff because I had a day job. So the day job was just about enough to like keep food on the table and some bills paid and stuff like that. But by and large, yeah, it was a shock. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. This is the same for me with my production company. Like I had a day job, and same, it kicked me out of
my
any
DJs
benefits.
were making more money than me.
Yeah.
Suddenly, when they were doing that like $725 a week kind of thing, and it's like, holy crap.
Right. Well, I mean, it was nice to have that as a fallback, but without it getting too deep, some people even were like, "Well, I'm making more money doing nothing."
I actually sat down at my desk for like 3 days and stared at the wall, trying to figure out what it was I was going to do to survive this thing. In the beginning, like everybody else, I had happen, how long it was going to be, and so on and so forth. And so I ended up starting a mask company.
Oh, okay.
I sold masks.
Yeah.
I took orders, basically used the marketing apparatus of Cross Entertainment and started advertising them. And we started out with just basic masks because, in the beginning, nobody knew anything and people were panicky and everybody needed masks and they weren't anywhere
super
to be
in
had.
demand. Yeah, exactly. People were like manufacturers were even changing over their factories.
Absolutely. But I was able to do it very quickly. Yeah, I called a friend of mine that was a seamstress and I sent him over a schematic and I said, "Hey man, can you make these?" And he was like, "Absolutely." And I said, "How many can you make?" And he said, "I could probably churn out about 40 or 50 a day."
Yeah.
And I thought at the time, we won't need that many. But before I knew it, we were churning out 50 to 60 a day.
Yeah.
And it was like just constant. And I had people coming by my house to pick them up, and I live in Brentwood. So,
right.
My neighbors were like, "I knew he was a drug dealer." Because they're just cars just coming
right,
and going,
yeah.
And
and they're small enough, you're just handing off these little packages. Yeah,
I had them in Ziplocs and stuff. I'm handing off these things, and it was all hours of the day and night, and I was working. I was constantly taking orders and trying to keep this track of this stuff, and I'd never done anything like that before in my whole life, and so it really kept things in motion. And
Good.
Then when the bars opened back up, it was about the same time that masks become easily obtainable, and we shifted back into gears and went right back into Cross Entertainment and kept going.
Good.
Fortunately.
So now it sounds like you're even busier than where you left off.
Oh yeah. I just recently booked 4 events in one day. For one day. So on October 8th, I have 4 events plus 2 karaoke shows on the same day.
Dude, you're insane.
I booked them all on the same day, and I mean, like they came in that day, so that like the connection would come in. Somebody would message me like, "So and so said to call you," blah blah blah, and then I would give them the quotes and go over everything with them and stuff like that, and then book the event. And it was like boom, boom, boom. I did 4 in one day, and I started having heart palpitations. Like, I think we can do this. I'm like
heart palpitations and gray hairs popping up and all.
That haven't worked for me for a few years and been like, "Hey man, on October 8th, what are you up to?"
Right. Yeah.
And I brought an old business partner of mine, Austin Kittleman, back on board for some stuff. He's wanting to do some events and that type of thing, and so I brought him back on. He's going to handle one of those events that day. And
I'm happy to hear that Austin is getting back in the fold. Whenever I first started doing karaoke in the Springfield scene, it was with Austin.
He brought me into the karaoke scene.
See, and I didn't realize that. I thought it was the other way around.
From a business standpoint, I've been doing karaoke for years, but he actually, I used to come up and hang out at his shows, and I never really thought about being a karaoke host. But he come up to me one night, and he was too young to drink the bar tab from the venue that he was at, and he come up to me and he said, "Hey man, I get this $50 bar tab every night, and I can't use it. I just buy other people drinks and stuff, and then they do their shots or whatever." He's like, "I'd like to give you that bar tab, and then in exchange, I want to hand you a microphone, and I want you to banter with me all night during some shows." And so we started doing that, and it becomes so popular that like our shows were just like packed.
Well, and to put it in context, like I remember how outside of the box
Austin's thinking was on that. Like I remember him with the headset mic and stuff. I'm like, you never saw that. You saw some guy with a microphone. You know,
I started out with a headset
Jennifer,
mic.
you're up next, and it wasn't like that at all.
Yeah, I started out with a headset mic as well when I started doing my own shows because I went from doing them with him, and then we created the Kings of Karaoke where we were doing that kind of format with respect to our shows, and then we started getting popular enough that we were getting calls from other venues and stuff like that, and so I started doing my own shows with my equipment from Cross Entertainment because Cross Entertainment had been around since the 90s. I did weddings and stuff like that for almost 30 years now, but I started using my equipment and his computers and stuff like that, and then we did that for several years. It was really popular. We shot a reality show called The Kings of Karaoke once upon a time that ended up it's kind of a long story behind it, but we ended up losing that.
A lot of people don't understand that process, that you actually you almost have to do like a demo tape if you were a musician, where you're making a rough draft,
create
if you will.
a pilot,
right?
Is essentially, and you end up with like 5-6 episodes that they shop out to networks, and then the networks either pick them up or they don't.
Right.
And it's it's a big arduous process, but we had a year's worth of shooting in the can, and we had it ready to go, and I mean. Our format for the show kicked the crap out of Duck Dynasty. I mean, it was nothing like
right.
I mean, it was a really great show.
Yeah.
And then some things happened with some of the people on the show, and we were unable to use the footage. And they did, at first they were like, "Oh, we'll reshoot it." We really believe in the concept, and we want to do this. And then,
well, I'm here to tell you that sometimes reshooting things can really be. It's not always. It's
changes
like right. Well, it's like you put all this work into it, but is it worth doing it again? Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's not.
Handful of crap. The worst part is I don't even know where any of that footage is at. Like,
really?
Yeah, and I really wish I did. I probably could hunt it down.
Did you have to hire a film company and stuff, or did you have like film equipment yourself?
Company.
Okay.
The production company from Chrome Shop Mafia, it was like a Pimp My Ride for semi trucks out of Joplin, was part of who was doing it, and they, of course, they own the footage. I don't own the footage, so whenever I think once upon a time they offered to sell it to me, and I was like, why would I buy it when I can't use it? I probably could have used it locally and just threw the stuff out there without making any money on it back then, because we're talking 2012-ish.
Right. Yeah, you probably could have chopped it up for promo and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And we did use some of it, and I still do have some of I have the original intro video for the show. It's got a theory, or I can't remember the name of the song, but it's got an intro song, and it's got our pictures coming up and stuff like that. And I have it on some of the computers at the karaoke venues, and I can pull it up and play it. But that's, as far as footage goes, I think that's about all I really have. But we started the Kings of Karaoke. We did a big party, and I had a photographer named Sean Burke come out, and he took a bunch of photographs of everyone at this party. It was supposed to just be a kind of like a gag promotional party for this bar. And we were the Kings of Karaoke was going to come in and guest host. We were going to host and then bartend, and then mostly we were just going to host.
Right.
But the party was such a hit that we ended up having to actually bartend.
Wow.
And I'm not a bartender.
Because it was that bumping.
I mean, I know how to drink. Anybody that knows me can tell you that. But like, I literally was behind the bar mixing drinks and making things I didn't even know how to make. And it was me and Austin and another guy. We were out there, and then we were literally pouring drinks all night. We had our heads.
It's one of those things.
On.
If that's not your intent to go in and bartend, it's hard because you're like,
hot,
hey, I'm good with mixing
sweaty,
drinks,
terrible.
but I want to relax and drink mine.
Well,
I don't want to.
We were there to have fun, and we did anyways, and it turned out to be a really great show. We just had to work hard at it, and then Sean Burke took some amazing photographs, slapped our Kings of Karaoke logo across the bottom of thousands of photographs of everyone who was at this bar that night, which was at that time in the party scene in Springfield was a lot of the people who really mattered. And so when Sean edited all the photographs, they looked like a night in Vegas. Like it was the most amazing edit I'd ever seen on photographs.
Right.
Before then and since then. You know, and I've had opportunity to work with some fantastic photographers since then. But we posted all that stuff out on Facebook, and before you knew it, it was everyone's profile pic, all up and down the feed.
Smart marketing.
Yeah, well, it was an accident. I'd love to take credit for
Honestly,
it.
though,
and
I feel
could if I wanted
a
to,
lot of successes are happy accidents.
You know, there's a lot of truth to that. Like when I first started with the Kings of Karaoke and turning Cross Entertainment into a karaoke company, I was just out partying. I was just out having a good time and getting to know people. And before you knew it, it was like a snowball effect. I just started knowing more and more people and more people. And then it just woke up one day and I had this company that was making money and doing fun stuff for a living. And that's what I've done for probably roughly 16 years now. And so now we've had upwards of 14, 15 shows a week in karaoke in various venues in town right now, I think.
Talk to me about the karaoke scene right now. Do you feel good in what you're doing? Do you feel like there's too many people trying to do a lot of the same things?
Well, how do I say this without sounding arrogant? They're not doing what we're doing.
Right.
So I'm not too incredibly worried about
Yeah.
it. Like there are a few people out there that have seen what we're doing and they have their own personality that they spin on what they're doing. And it works for them. But I mean, by and large, you know, we changed it from usually some old guy sitting behind a table putting CDGs in a machine, and we took it digital. And then we my biggest drive is to make a show out of every Cross Entertainment karaoke show.
Right.
It's not just about the karaoke. It's about entertaining the crowd and saying things that they wouldn't expect to hear. And
right.
I mean, it's nothing for my boobs to come out at a show.
Well, and that's the thing. It from my experience with what you guys have been doing is it's not just calling somebody's name and let them come up and do whatever their song is, and while they're doing that, you're working on the next person.
Boring.
Like, yes, exactly.
You're
literally,
you'll get the occasional singer that comes up and is great and entertains the crowd and stuff like that, but by and large, it's just dull. And really what it boiled down to is it started out with me having drinks in a bar, and and everybody would laugh, and Austin would come up and he was like, "Bro, I want you on the microphone." So then we were just, when it came to interacting with each other, it was just magical from day one, and we were always on the same page. And then he got married and moved to Kansas City, had a baby, and he had gotten out of the scene. And of course, him stepping out of the Springfield karaoke scene left this giant hole that Cross Entertainment just slid right in and filled up. And then he was gone for years, and then he moved back and moved out to the country, and he was out in the country for a long time. And then, of course, this last Saturday night, he actually hosted a show for Cross Entertainment. Which is a complete 180 from
180 and
where
full
we started
circle at
out.
the same time.
Yeah, he come up to me and he's like, "It looks like the student has become the teacher." He's like, but he's going to do his own thing, I think, for by and large. But he's also going to do some things for Cross Entertainment, which is very good, because I won't hire just anybody to do what we do, and people who are capable of not only doing the job, but actually being a presence that draws people.
Personality.
In. It's not, they don't fall off trees every day.
No.
And usually when they're out there, especially in the community, they're already doing something else. So it's difficult.
They're either already doing something else, they're unreliable on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Need me,
Right. Yeah.
So there's lots of personalities, out there that I've seen throughout the years, and I'd love for them to be, we had Chris Palmer from Pearl was DJ'd for me for a while, and then we had Raven. She was a DJ on Q102, and she DJ'd for me for a while. Or she's like my sister. I love her to death, and if I ever had a sister, I would want her to be her. And so, we're still well in touch. But she lives out in Colorado with had a son with the drummer from Spinrad, and Spinrad moved out to Colorado, and they're doing their thing out there. And she just became a nurse.
Yeah.
Graduated with honors. Very proud of her. That was, in fact, this last May or June, I think, she actually spoke during her ceremony out there. But we were all doing our thing, man, back in the day, and it was a magical time that will never happen again. But that opens doors for other magical.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Like it's not that magical door is shut. It's just an evolving type of magical door.
I'm actually looking for the next generation Johnny Cross so that I can start relaxing.
Yeah. I hear you. You gotta have an exit plan.
Get out there, kid. It's gonna be great.
Right. Yeah. Gotta have that exit plan for sure. So not to give you tons more business, because I know that you're a busy guy, but I know that you enjoy being busy too. So
money.
if people wanted to get a hold of you, how would they do so to book you?
Well, they can find Cross Entertainment on Facebook. They can find my page, Johnny Cross, on Facebook. I believe I'm on Instagram and all those other places. I mean, ultimately, you can get me through all of those platforms, TikTok and whatever else.
Are you a TikToker?
I do videos. there's some on there, and I sing some songs and stuff.
There you go.
But my daughter is actually a viral TikToker now.
Oh, yeah?
And my youngest daughter, and she's actually an accomplished vocalist, and she's been that way since the day she was born. Grew in. I had to learn how to sing, and she just popped out doing it, and just kept getting better and better and better. And but she's she does the TikTok thing, and she's got millions of views on several of her videos and things of that nature. But mine is just kind of like out there. Just every now and then I'll get a hair up my butt and I'll post something funny or whatever. But by and large, I focus mostly on Facebook, so that can be found there. But then I have a business number. It's 417-880-0112. People can call that number or text that number. Is easier, especially if they want to book an event. Helps me keep things straight so that I can always go back and look and and I don't miss things. Sometimes I get busy enough where it's really easy to miss something, so I like to have things written down. But.
Yeah. Well, we're going to jump over to the game center here in a little bit and play some games. Are you down to play some games?
Absolutely.
All right, man. So before we do that, though, normally I give people options on things, but something about tonight is making me think I'll just choose for you. So, I'm gonna make something out of Play-Doh.
Out of Play-Doh. All right.
You any good with the old dough?
I actually own Play-Doh.
Do you?
At my house. It's in my art room.
There you go.
Yeah. I do art paintings and stuff like that, and then every now and then I use Play-Doh for various things. Although my Play-Doh comes out of the container a lot easier than your Play-Doh.
Well,
your Play-Doh's stuck in the bowl. I really don't. Why is it your first inclination is always to make something phallic? Is that just childhood?
I thought it was just me, so I'm glad it's not.
I'm like, it's always the first thing I started to, like going from there, and then all of a sudden I turn into a dragon or a snail.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Or like you can do that. What's the old
that looks
bird.
like a banana.
Like one of those birds on.
Okay, yeah.
They do like 6 or 7 of them in a pack or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about what. And then the little eye sockets.
There, yeah, spa day. Well, in honor of you, I made a cross for Johnny Cross.
That is awesome.
Kind of resembles Gumby, but
if I could make a Jared. Here,
sometimes there's not enough Play-Doh.
I can't. Ta-da!
Ta-da! Johnny Cross, everybody. Thank you, Johnny.
I have just one question. Have you thought about being a guest on the show? We are currently seeking music lovers of all kinds to join in on our fun. If you're interested in being a guest, or if you just have questions, comments, or suggestions, you can message us on Facebook or email us at theaudioroastpodcast@gmail.com. You can also submit any topics you'd like to hear discussed.
Hey Springfield, Robert and Cheryl Crook here.
And together we are Zen Lens Photo Media.
You've probably seen us around town, but did you know we also do family and children photography?
Don't forget maternity and infant sessions.
as well as senior portraits and weddings.
Please keep us in mind when you need event coverage and videography.
Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, or at www.zinlandsphotomedia.com.
Or you can give us a call at 417-818-7067 and book your session today.
Welcome back. We're going to keep the show on the road and welcome our second guest. You might know this young man from bands like Innuendo and Yachtly Groove. Yeah, that's right. He dropped his yacht off out back and swam the rest of the way in. He's also a very good friend of mine. Let's go ahead and welcome at this time Dr. Paul Thomlinson.
Hey, man.
Looking good, my man. Looking
Thanks,
good.
man.
Oh, is this okay? We're getting a whole costume change here.
I may do this thing.
Okay.
I've taken a page from Casey Kavanaugh's playbook, and I think psychologically it works really well.
Okay, so this, I think he got his from the, if you've seen the movie Big Daddy.
Yes.
Where the kid thinks he's invisible. Is that kind of the...
It's not. It's a little different. It's a little, but it has a similar psychological sort of effect.
Oh boy! Oh, do
It
tell.
gives you a certain sense of remove, which is really healthy at times. Especially depends on what you're being removed from. But
right.
Anyway,
Boy.
plus it just looks cool, right?
And, I mean, yeah, it looks like you're ready to rock and
who
roll,
doesn't
brother.
look cooler in shades than they do without?
True. Mine are
Very
way
few-
across the other side of the room, but
few people.
yeah,
But
I'll let you outdo me. That's all right. It's all
It's
good.
okay. No.
How you been, man?
I'm busy.
You have been busy.
Busy. It struck me the other day. Somebody said, "How you been?" I'm busy as a one-armed paper hanger, busy as a one-legged man at a butt kicking party.
Yep.
And I started thinking, like, why are all the metaphors about being busy, with somebody who's missing a limb? I feel like we should.
And why are they the only tradesmen?
Paper hangers and
butt
kickers.
Yeah.
Butt kickers unions really their lobby's
they
pretty
run
powerful.
thick through these parts. Yeah. So
busy.
what have you been
I'm
busy
doing well.
with? I mean, work and bands.
Yeah, that's a lot of it.
Yeah.
I got the full-time gig as a psychologist, which I love very much, but I'm playing in like 4 different bands and doing some solo stuff and
4. So I missed 2. What are the other ones?
There's Innuendo, Yachtly Groove, and there's a little side project, the Yachtly Groove, we're working on now, which is a Loverboy tribute, just like an hour Loverboy set.
Oh, no way. I thought I
where
saw
I'm
something
doing-
on Facebook, but I didn't
where
realize
I'm just
that was
doing
you.
stand-up vocals, which I haven't done that since I was like 16 years old. So that's been.
Now,
a
when you
trip.
say stand-up vocals, you mean like just you on
I'm doing
stage
the
a
Mike Reno.
cappella, or you mean like
No, I'm
you
doing the
just know
Mike
guitar?
Reno, yeah, and the other guys are covering it.
Nice.
And it's the same guys in Yachtly Groove, and I just put my guitar down and put on the headband, and
Yeah,
we
and
did
the
Loverboy.
sunglasses.
And then there's of course City Girls, which is the Eagles tribute.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of tribute stuff going on.
Yeah, well, that's a good business to be in.
And I get to play some solo shows now and then, just play acoustic guitar and
Do you really?
sing and
Good.
play for some weddings and stuff like that, which I love to do.
Do you write your own music for that kind of stuff, or do you still do covers?
I do.
Yeah.
I've done a couple of things where they sold songwriting at a couple community auction that was like a silent auction thing, which they, for whatever reason, they thought I was good enough to sell it. And they sold a couple things. And I wrote 2 wedding songs. People sort of bought my songwriting and I've written two songs for weddings in the last few years. And one was a jingle. I did a jingle for Jim's Steakhouse and Pub. Actually, if you hear that on the radio,
Jim's Steakhouse and Pub. Yeah.
When you walk through those legendary doors, that's me.
Dude, that's amazing.
Thanks.
That's one of those things like whenever you're in high school and you got to fill out the little check boxes of what do you think you want to do? It was never a checkbox, but I was always like, man, it'd be cool to be a sound Foley.
Yeah.
Which is somebody that, like for
Yeah,
movies
sound
that makes
effects and
sounds
stuff.
out of like rubber mats and stuff.
Yeah.
Or a jingle guy.
Right.
And I'm like, I think those would be really fun.
Like Barry
but now,
Manilow.
Right.
You want to be like the
But,
Barry Manilow.
Dude, that's a lot.
or the
They're a
Nick
lot of
Sibley.
work because it takes. That's a
It
special
does.
kind of creativity to pull something out of nothing with
It
things
really-
that
yeah.
don't rhyme or don't go, and it's
Yeah, that was a trip because it was like Jim was like, well, I want, we got these big doors or legendary doors, and we want to include that. And like, okay, what else? What else do you want to get into this? And so I tried to pack all that into 15 seconds.
and that's the thing. It's not just music writing; it's marketing. So you have to
Yeah.
think strategically what's going to help them get best business and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's your voice also, or do you just?
No, I had my
pen the-
friend Michael Thomas sang it, and I've kind of regretted that ever since because it's gotten some pretty good play. It's been
Yeah.
on for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Or more. But so I wrote it and recorded it and had Michael sing it because The other thing Jim said was, I want it to be like a Sinatra-esque, and my buddy Michael is way better at that kind of stuff than me. So I put him to work on it, and he nailed it.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah,
That's really
so,
cool.
yeah.
How did that come about? Like, were you just a frequent person there, and he's like, "Hey, you're a musician."
Although I love the place, that wasn't at all. I was on the board at Community Partnership at the Ozarks for years, and they had every year they'd do a fundraiser, and they started asking me, to contribute like a song, a custom written song for the silent auction, and so for 3 years in a row, folks bought me writing them a song, and so I did 2 weddings and a jingle.
Wow.
So,
That's really cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Fun.
If you've done wedding songs, I'm going to request that you do a funeral song, just because some people are like, no, I don't want people crying. I want to celebrate and have a good time.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to give you my lyric.
All right.
Put the fun in funeral. So whatever you want to do with
Baby,
that,
you put the fun
those
in
are my
funeral.
legendary doors. Just put the fun in funeral.
I just wrote a song, actually, not to get maudlin, but had this, got a million song ideas on my phone, and I decided to go ahead and finish this one. It's called "Walking Each Other Home." It's from that. I think it's a Ram Dass quote. Ultimately, we're all just walking each other home, which I find great comfort in. So
Go into that for a minute. What does that mean?
So it's like, what we're doing in this world, what we're doing through life is ultimately we're just kind of holding hands and walking each other to the other side.
That's cool.
And so I think you think about a funeral song, not to get, again, real maudlin here or anything, but that's, to me, there's a lot of comfort in just thinking about the fact that, ultimately that's what this life is we're all, if we're lucky, we have somebody to link arms with or hold hands with and walk each other home.
Yeah. It's funny. This is a terrible transition.
We're going to be all over on the segues.
Oh, yeah. No. So there's
the segues.
I never write down questions for this because I like it to be organic and stuff, except for I did have one thing because of what you do as a doctor, as a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means no scripts.
Right.
Okay.
In Missouri, at least.
Right, yeah. Good old Missouri. So one thing that I'm a big believer in and try to keep reminding people on this show is how times are hard for people and stuff. And how prevalent suicide and that kind of thing can be.
Yeah.
So my question to you, free of charge, if I see somebody, for example, whether it's on social media or in real life, and you could tell they're struggling, they're having a hard time, what's your advice for how somebody like myself would handle that? Not the person that's going through the hard time, the person recognizing it.
Person who's recognizing that somebody they care about or somebody they've come across is struggling. It's a great question. And there's a few things. I have a lot to say about this, and I'll try not to say all of it. But there's a thing called QPR training, which if anybody you see that in your community, it's a great, it stands for Question, Persuade, Refer. It's for community members that learn to do that very thing. Gives you some skills for just interacting with folks who are maybe thinking about dying by suicide. But, in a nutshell, when you think about what we know about from the best research I know of, why people want to die by suicide, doesn't mean they will, but the ones who really want to, it's because they lack belonging and they feel like a burden.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of roots to both of those things. So bottom line is, it's really hard to go wrong as long as you're being empathic and, not being a judgmental asshole. So basically, you want to listen, ask them, and don't be afraid to say those words. Are you thinking about killing yourself?
Right.
Don't beat around the bush and, just be direct about it. That whole myth about if you say it, you'll put it in their head. That's nonsense.
I agree. One thing, and kind of a big reason why I ask this is because I see so many times where people are like, yeah, man, I hear you. I was that way too. Or, I'm going, and it's like, I get the wanting to, make them not feel alone, but at the same time, that's their time to shine. Like where you really, where they're needing that solo attention.
Great
they don't
point.
need it to be about you and what you've been through.
Don't redirect and say, I've been there, man, I understand, because ultimately that can be really off-putting for people and make them feel even more isolated because this dude's telling me he understands and ain't nobody understands what I've been through. Right. And they just need, most of the time, they really just need you to shut up and listen. And, warm, empathic, loving responses. If they need you to stay with them because they're afraid of what they might do if you leave, stay with them. Basically just practicing those fundamental skills of humanity, empathy and kindness and This is I just did a podcast on National Civility Month, and I just think it's so sad that we have to put a spotlight on civility,
Dude,
which
isn't it?
ultimately is just really about empathy and kindness and humanity. And that's what we all need. And walking each other home. That song really is all about that. And when you mentioned something really important, which is this model of so-called interpersonal model of suicide is lack of belonging and sense of burdensomeness. Those two factors. If you hold those twin psychological motives long enough, you're gonna feel like dying. You might not do it,
right?
But you're gonna feel like it.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to go like, why am I even here?
Right. The depression will be bad enough, let alone suicidal thoughts.
Yep. Yeah. And that's the desire part, but the ability part is a whole different thing. The ability to die by suicide is really predicted by a whole bunch of other things: trauma history, combat. I know Johnny. I saw something on his wrist about I believe it was a veteran suicide piece. And why do veterans die by suicide more often? Well, they don't just have the twin psychological motives. They also have the trauma history, the combat exposure. They have, many of them.
Right.
All the things that whittle away that basic prohibition against jumping across the log and doing self-harm. If you have enough of those risk factors in place, you really have to be really careful with folks who have that.
Yeah. That's incredible. One thing that you've talked about recently on social media and stuff, and your podcast, which I want to talk about, and I don't know, it's just two words that go so well together: hope tank. I think that's what pulls people out, is having hope.
Yeah.
To make an analogy, if you will, one thing that I've learned over the past 5-6 years in doing music is, if we're talking about tribute bands, right? So it's easy to look forward to that first show that you're going to do with your Loverboy tribute, right?
Yeah.
But the magic is actually not that night. The magic is the practices in between. It's the journey to get there. That's the stopping off at the gas station to fill up that hope tank. And it's like some people don't know how to find that for themselves. What about hope tank? Talk to us about that, I guess.
Yeah,
what's your mission with that?
Yeah, it's we have a whole bunch of people running around after the pandemic and with the incredible amount of division in the world, and who just have lost hope. They don't feel like things are ever going to be good again, or they've emptied their hope tank. And hope is a funny thing. False hope can be a really cruel thing, but I mean, real genuine hope. And I did a podcast in May for Mental Health Awareness Month. It was just a little piece on hope. Which is, just the sense of it's not just a sense of forward looking and something to look forward to. I think everybody needs something to look forward to, but it's more than that. It's also sort of having a plan to get from point A to point B. It's not just some mental assent to, there's something good in the future.
Right.
Okay.
Because that's a pipeline. That's not a workable goal.
All right.
Yeah.
But hope is that with a plan. So I think, and the other thing is, I did a bunch of focus groups this spring looking at youth mental health and other mental health awareness, and what can we do to help you, get through these tough times and whatever. And I asked that specific question about what's giving you hope. And it's really interesting, not surprising, but interesting to me always. It's always human beings. It's always other people. And the hope tank is filled up by other people. And any excuse I can use to quote Doc Holliday from Tombstone.
Yeah.
The only human being ever gave me hope my entire life. And sometimes,
So good.
that's it. It's just another person. It was like, and I thought I was ready to check out. I thought I was done, and one person is what it took. And it turned everything around. I don't know if you ever heard of Kevin Hines. He's written a book and has a movie called The Ripple Effect. He was one of the few people that have ever survived the leap off the Golden Gate Bridge trying to die by suicide.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm haunted always by his stories. And he's amazing mental health advocate these days, thankfully. He survived with the help of a sea lion and some others. But the thing he talked about is he was taking the bus with full intent of dying by suicide by jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge, which almost nobody survives. And he's like, that mental game, that people play. I bet we all play it in some way. If this, then this. If just one person, that's what he was saying to himself. if just one person comes up to me and says hi, even they don't have to embrace me in a loving, wet kiss. They just have to say hi and express some interest in me being alive, and then I won't do it. And he thought he was saved. And the story haunts me to this day every time I think about it. But it was like, I think it was a German tourist lady at the Golden Gate Bridge walks toward him with a camera, and he thought, here it is. And she didn't say hi. She said, would you take my picture?
Yeah.
It's like it really wasn't anything about him, focusing on him, whatever.
But it was still his involvement.
Yep.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, so it's just that idea that you just never know when you can be the one who fills up the hope tank and takes so little many times.
So little. It could be as little as a nod or a smile.
Yeah.
Just
one person
acknowledgement.
smiles at me on this bus and I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't read the book, but I don't know if it was on Netflix or something or YouTube, but I saw some kind of, I don't know, I want to say it was like Jumpers or The Bridge, or it had some name anyway. But I remember hearing this story.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. It is haunting.
It is.
It is.
But it really goes to that piece about hope, which is, and I think that the cool thing about being compassionate and about being a decent human being is there's sort of this reflexive, cycle. Like, I'm working on a thing now, a research project to look at really, the way I think of it is, like we hear a lot about self-care. And I'm a big advocate of self-care, but when you hear that, a lot of people think that's going to Bath and Body Works, and I get some lotions.
Yeah,
and I
that's
take
lotions
bath,
and manscaping and moisturizing. Yeah,
and that's all good. But you know what? Some of the best self-care you can do is to take care of somebody else. There's that reciprocity. There's almost nothing more important in terms of, again, walking each other home. That's probably a reason that song idea has been with me for years. But that reciprocity of providing, that warm, compassionate, friendly, just connection.
Yeah, and it's so funny to me because that exact thing that you're talking about happens every year for about a month or two. It comes right around the holidays, and people are like, oh, I want to do something nice. Okay, what about in June?
Yep, 100%. And by the way, that's an interesting piece as regards the mythology around suicide. People always say, people die, but suicide rates go up around the holidays. They actually don't. They go up after the holidays.
Right.
Because there's an interesting thing, like even people who are sort of hermits and shut-ins and, maybe, or they may suffer from mental illness and social anxiety and whatever, but it's almost like you're just not allowed during the holidays to be alone. They'll find ways to get you there. They'll bring, you'll be assaulted with social connections and whether you like it or not, it helps. It's a protective factor against suicide, but it's after that. It's after all that, and all the credit card bills come in, and and everybody is consumed with their consumerism.
That's the quiet part of the storm.
Yeah. That's when people start to check out.
Yeah, you're so well spoken on these things and so smart about them, and obviously you've got a lot of degrees and stuff behind you for that, but you use them in smart ways too. Talk to me about your podcast.
Yeah, so it doesn't really have a name yet. It's just when the pandemic hit and I started, I work with Compass Health Network, and I'm not here as an official representative of them, but we started thinking about all the crazy stuff that was happening, and it felt like we were falling off a cliff, and I started thinking, what can I do working from home? I've got my little MacBook and my little studio, which I do all my little demos on. I was like, I can record a 20-minute piece on, and name it. And so I've done dozens and dozens of episodes just trying to apply psychological research, lived experiences to helping us get through the madness of these times we're living in and living through, as I say in my podcast. Looking for a name for it. We're going to try to make it a little bit more of a real thing and syndicate it. Right now, it's just all released through our Compass social media. It's on our website.
Yeah.
And it's all audio.
That first one, there wasn't a single millisecond that I missed. I thought it was phenomenally.
Thank you.
Really well done.
Thank you.
And I'll say now, if there's anything I can do to help, count on me.
Thank you, buddy. I will take you up on that because that's part of my strategic plan for this year is to take it to a different level and raise the stakes and bring more guests on and do all that kind of stuff instead of just me yakking. And I've done some of that in the last year, but I need a lot more.
Sure, that interaction helps when you're just sitting in front of a microphone.
And trying
to spat out stuff. Yeah,
But that's exactly how this started, was through the pandemic and just like needing that social connection. It's like, I'm just going to go live, and then it morphed into what it is now.
Yep.
But we play games and talk music. Like, you actually have a really cool purpose. We try to get some of those in, in the underneath kind of thing.
I was gonna say it seeps in through all
the
cracks.
Right. Yeah. but yeah, no, it's something that means a lot to me too. For people to have some hope,
Yeah, and that's
or
really what it's all
knowledge.
about. I love our at Compass. Our mission statement is inspire hope and promote wellness. I'm like, man, I can get behind that for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And that's really what that's about, is just trying to inspire hope, promote wellness through bringing some psychological research, theory, lived experience, voices. And I'm doing one every month now tied to our observances calendar. So I've done one on Women's History Month and Black History Month and Earth Day. And so I'm working on some climate psychology research. Cool. And so, anything that has to do with helping people find the hope to put one foot in front of the other and keep moving, man. I'm all about it.
For sure. Talk to me real quick about music and we've done the therapy stuff. Would you be in therapy, by the way, if it wasn't for music? If you weren't able to play it?
100%.
Yeah.
Music. It's a cliche, and there's probably a million memes about it, but
it's
music is my therapist and my mistress, my therapist, my solace. It's essential.
Yeah.
And I always say I've adapted a Victor Borge quote that says music is the shortest distance between two people. And I really think that's true. He said humor, but I think it's music. And if you have humorous music, that's maybe the best.
I think it's communication, which makes it both.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's so cool. I love so much about what you do and what you choose to invest in, whether it's professionally or whether it's on the weekends musically. Like, you make smart choices, and I admire that about you.
Thanks, man.
So, yeah.
I'm trying.
So speaking of smart choices, I'm going to give you 3 before we end this interview. I'll change it up. We can do an awkward pause. We can make something out of Play-Doh, or we can go 2 out of 3 Rochambeau.
2 out of 3 Rochambeau?
Are you familiar?
I'm not.
Rock, paper, scissors. That's me trying to be fancy. That's me trying to be fancy to match up with this
president of the French club in high school, and I missed the Rochambeau.
Parlez-vous français? Oh, okay. Je ne joue à Rochambeau.
Johnny got to do the.
You want to do that too?
No, it's a work of art. I would not futz with that.
Well, I hate to say it, but it's gonna get messed with at some point. But I do kind of like the garlicness of it.
It's gonna get jacked. You know what? I think I actually have a little song about lean into the awkward. So I think maybe we'll do
one of those.
Do an awkward pause.
Dr. Paul Thomlinson, everybody.
Hey musicians, do your shows need that extra layer of fun and excitement? Wow your fans with next level production and let Sunset Productions help you up your game. We can create custom and unique sound, lighting, and video packages designed just for you and your budget. Let's work together and give our community the shows they deserve. For more information, contact Jared Isaacs at sunsetproductionsspringfield@gmail.com. You can also check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Sunset Productions. Sunset Productions. Don't be a jukebox. Be an experience.
Welcome to the Game Center. We are doing soft rock from 1987. I hope the boys are primed and ready for some soft rock. Boys?
We're primed.
Okay.
And or ready.
Oh, well, that counts for something on this show. Yes. So the first game that we're going to play is an old classic, an old favorite that I believe both of you have played on previous episodes. But of course today it's all about soft rock, because who likes it hard? So let's go ahead and check out what our first game is. Guess the song in reverse. All right. So, as a quick reminder, 30 seconds of a song played backwards. Can't have things soft and easy on the show. So let's go ahead. We're going to do is play the song at any point. If you know the name of the song, that'll get you a point. If you know the artist, that'll get you a point. Buzz in whenever you know either or both.
Got it.
Okay. Let's hear our first song.
Girl. I have no idea what that is.
Cut it. What? What the what?
Cut it out, says Mr. Thomlinson. Any guesses at all?
I was getting a vibe, but I just not enough
Especially
for my
at the
cortex.
end.
Motley
to
Crue,
revolve
girls,
it.
girls, girls.
Oh, it did sound a lot like Vince Neil.
When you played it back, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I'm not so sure about that. Paul, any guesses last minute?
Bupkis, man, I don't know.
All right. Well, let's see what Vince Neil says. Oh, Starship. Nothing gonna stop us now.
Nothing's gonna stop us.
Except for a song in reverse.
Starship.
That'll
That'll
put the brakes on in a hurry.
grinding halt.
We've already called it a
Two
truce.
words.
We're ready to
Right.
walk away now.
Grinding halt.
We're both winners.
We'll just call that it's kind of like bowling. Like you get one warm-up
It's a warm-up
shot, right?
round.
There you go.
Get
All
our
right.
cortexes.
All right. Now then, scorekeepers. Let's start now.
All right. Another song in reverse.
You got it coming your way.
I don't know. Did I hear "Hail Satan" in there several times, or was that just? They weren't doing that in '87.
Oh no, that was all long
babies,
past.
wee
Yeah,
babies.
that's so '82, bro.
I know.
Yeah.
Or before. Man, I was getting the vibe too, but I don't know. I just don't.
Got an artist or a band or
I
a?
feel like I heard maybe some Rat.
Okay. I mean that could be worth a
Round
point.
and round.
Okay, that could be worth 2 points. Paul, want to put anything on the board?
Corey Hart. I don't know.
Perfect. Corey Hart. Let's see what the answer is. It's Foreigner.
Oh, of course that's Foreigner.
Wow.
Now I can hear it. With you.
Yeah.
Life
Forward.
is lived forward.
Who
and
knew
understood
that-
in reverse.
It's easy to
Right.
figure out
Who
when
knew
it's
that
played
Lou
forward.
Graham was actually Satan?
Right.
Well,
Did you see him? He was at the fair. I just got to see him.
that's true. How was that, by
It
the
was
way?
actually very good. Very few people there, but it was very good.
Yeah. Did he sound good?
He sounded really good.
I love that. I
I
love
was
that.
doing
from Lou
karaoke
was
at the
one of
fair.
those.
He still got some pipes.
Yeah.
One of my top 5 or so favorites from that
Yeah.
era is
One of my top 5, 15, 50.
50.
Yeah.
50.
Something. Let's try another one, shall we?
Please.
Oh, Johnny, confident on this one.
Heart. I don't know the song. I just think it's Heart.
Okay. Got a guess, Paul?
I didn't get enough of the stimulus material.
Sucker.
Fair.
So
Okay.
it's Heart.
Let's. Do you want to hear it again?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and hear that one again then.
Yes. Is it Stevie Nicks?
Okay.
Yeah.
Stevie Nicks, do you have a song?
No.
Well, neither did she.
Ouch.
All right.
Stevie.
Not 1987 anyway.
Well, okay, there's a reason I'm laughing. Let's, Johnny, any guesses besides Heart?
No.
Okay.
Fleetwood Mac now. I mean.
Oh, sure.
that's-
Now,
I can see
yeah.
I mean, I did have Fleetwood Mac pop into my head right before he said Stevie Nicks, and I was like, yeah, I think he might be
I feel
right.
like I
there.
should get quarter credit if it's Fleetwood Mac, since
What's Fleetwood Mac without Stevie Nicks?
Hello. All right, let's see what the answer is. 7 Wonders by Fleetwood Mac. Oh! Yeah, so that's a point for Mr. Paul Thomlinson, doctor,
Thank you very much.
if you're nasty.
PhD, yeah, piled high and deep.
This is going to be the point I get beat by.
Right. All right, let's try another one since the scoreboard is racking up so quickly.
Jesus. It's so hard backwards, like life.
Oh, yeah, right.
Don't do it backwards.
But also like life, it's really easy in hindsight. Like
hindsight 2020.
I'm going to say Winger.
Oh, that's a good guess.
I know. I don't know what song, but it did kind of sound Winger.
Did they have multiples to choose from?
Oh, yeah. The soft
rattling.
Yeah.
All right.
Kip Winger.
Are you gonna stick with Stevie Nicks? No. It's kind of like answering C on a test. Eventually, you'll get it right.
I stick with Stevie Nicks just like Lindsey Buckingham did.
Oh, there you go.
Which is to say, not at all.
Right. Exactly. All right, let's reveal the answer. Oh, Bryan Adams, Heat of the Night.
Yeah.
Wow.
Canadian.
Right. Yeah. No wonder we hadn't heard it before.
Canada. No wonder.
Yeah, Canada, man. A. Yeah, let's try another song, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it. Come on.
Let's make it go down.
Oh, crap, I know it.
Paul.
I've had time of my life.
Okay.
Jennifer Warnes and Bill Medley.
Wow. Did you just pull that out of thin air? He's a wizard. All right, Johnny, you concur? Do you think he's full of it?
I was singing it in my head whenever he said that.
You say that on every answer. Come on, Johnny, I'm seeing right through you.
He's really helping me with that. I think.
I know that was 1987.
I could hear the time of your life, but I couldn't remember who the hell sung it. And then
That's fair.
Yeah.
I always thought it was Patrick Swayze and
Jennifer Grey.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that was part of my confusion because I started thinking Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey, but no.
Let's see what the answer is. Oh yeah, it is indeed Bill Medley and Jennifer Warnes. Warnes, yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Stevie Nicks. Whoever.
She's probably Canadian or something. We got one more. So this is what it all boils down to, fellas. Let's see what our last song is.
I've got the song on the tip of my tongue, but can't even put the whole song together, much less the artist.
Oh, it's...
Oh, Paul!
Is it Billy Ocean?
Ooh. What song?
Non-stop love. I don't know the title of the song.
Get out of your...
Get out of my dreams in my car.
Oh, little tag team assist right there. It was like it's like volleyball. Like Johnny gave you the volley and you spiked it. I think. Let's check what the answer is. Oh yeah, Billy Ocean. Get out of my dreams. Get into my car.
I feel like this would be a
I mean,
point.
yeah.
Give me half a point.
Yeah, he deserves it.
To his two.
Right?
Whatever,
Yeah.
Wherever he's at.
All right. Well, I tell you what. Let's take a quick break. Come back and we'll do another game. Give you guys a whole clean slate to zoom up on the board. So.
Oh,
We'll be back right
Really
after
quiet.
this.
You got the quiet buzzer.
Well, we are back here in the game center, and we're doing something a little different. We're changing things up because that's what we do. We're going to play our second game with Dr. Paul Thomlinson and Johnny Cross. Let's see what it is. Cutoff karaoke. Well, what does that mean? That means that we're going to do a little karaokeing, and all of a sudden the screen is going to not have lyrics, and you've got to finish the line. If you're able to do so, you get a point. We're going to welcome our first singer of the day, Mr. Johnny Cross. So, Johnny, if you want to take the stage.
Oh. Oh, that's a set for tall people.
All right, finish the next line when the music stops. Are you ready? Yes! Let me hear you. In excess, never tear us apart. Are you familiar with this one?
No, not at all.
Perfect. Nail it.
Don't ask me what you know is true. Don't have to tell you I love your precious heart. I was standing, you were there. Two worlds collide, and they could never tear us apart. I'm already lost, don't know the rest of the song. This isn't gonna go well. I told you it's gonna suck, 'cause I don't know the rest of the song. Is that right?
I'd say it's close. Let's take a look and see.
Holy smokes.
The answer is, I'd make wine from your tears. You were this close.
I was making my own wine tears.
That's super creepy.
It's
line.
funny how you can sing along with it when you see the words and like have no, because I wasn't an NSS fan or anything. I was into hair band metal when I was 87.
Some salty ass wine.
I would say good attempt. We're going to give you another couple chances, so it's all right. Again, that's like a warm-up
That's gonna
thing.
be great.
Yeah. Paul, you want to come over to the big stage here? And,
What's up?
And, serenade us.
I don't know it. I definitely need to.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You got to Kavanaugh it up.
Got to
that's what I did wrong.
All right. Well, let's take it away.
Oh God.
Eric Carm.
Seriously?
Hungry Eyes. Well, you can't see them, but they're hungry.
I could probably do Hungry Eyes better.
I don't know
than
this song.
You got
All
it.
right.
You got it.
Let's give it a shot.
can't tell you. This feeling subside. I don't know the song at all. Help me, Johnny. And I fantasize you're mine tonight. Is that right? I don't know. Wish I knew the song. Hungry eyes, can't disguise. Hungry eyes between you and I. Oh, sure, just make it freaking up in the stratosphere. To hold you. So hear me. I don't. Help me, yes, help me out. And I got nothing. I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing. Bupkis, zero zilchus, nothing.
Honestly, though, I would have threw panties at you in the first part of the song. You did fantastic.
Oh, man, I know. You're very, very kind because I don't know.
It would have been weird getting them off.
Right. Well, let's reveal what the answer is here.
What is it?
I want to show you what love's all
Like anybody freaking knows. Like Eric Carmen knows. He also sang All by
Yeah, if
Myself.
you
What does
probably
he
asked
know
him
about?
to sing
Probably
it
uses an
tonight, he'd
iPad.
be
He doesn't
like,
even know
"What?"
his own lyrics.
Exactly. and I just want to say, it's the sole purpose of doing karaoke is you have the freaking lyrics in front of you so you don't have to use up the
Yes,
buffer space.
Are you saying that we're trying to play games with you?
We're
playing
old.
games
We're
with a
killing
brother.
our brain cells over here.
Games with my heart. Oh, that's not 87. That was
Used to do that.
97.
97.
Or it probably wasn't, but that's okay.
Backstreet Boys, 90. It's pretty close.
It is pretty close, but being on the internet, people are going to comment down below and go, "No, that was 1999."
96. That was
Yeah, they
96.
All right. Well,
Okay,
hey, good
thank
attempt.
you so much.
We're gonna let you have another one, and in the meantime, bring on Mr. Cross.
No, here we go.
87. I really was not. Oh my God.
Oh, we got some White
David
Snake.
Coverdale. Why not?
Is this love?
I don't want to get cocky or nothing, but
We're about to find out.
We need Jared to sing this shit.
Take it away.
Should've known better than to let you go alone. It's times like these I can't make it on my own. Wasted days and sleepless nights. I can't wait to see you again. Find to spend my time waiting on your call. How can I tell you, babe? My back's against the wall.
What? Was that an answer?
oh, finally got one.
Oh man, we're shaking and baking now. Let's see what the answer is. My back's against the wall.
Nice.
That's it, right there.
That's a point for Mr. Cross.
That sounded
Point
great.
for this guy. Good stuff, man.
Sweet.
Let's do another
That was
swap-a-rooney.
really good. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
I got jack shit. 87, I'm telling you, I was not listening to the radio. So
Well.
this is all in arrears.
All right. Well, let's
What you got?
see what you got. You too. Still haven't found the lyrics that what I'm looking for.
Okay.
All right. Let's hear from the great Mr. Thomlinson.
Dear Christ Almighty. I should.
I was so sure you were going to bang it out. I was like,
Those sweet tits. Those sweet tits.
I knew if I showed him my boobies, it would get him off.
Okay. So,
Is it running or is it boating?
Honey lips. Okay, hold on.
Well, hang on. Let's see. You might be right. It might be something
In
about
these
boobs. or
tits?
something.
Sweet tits.
I don't know. I was neologism.
In her fingertips. You dirty dog.
Tips. It was the tips
Just
of
the
something.
tips.
Just the tips.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Johnny, hop in here and try another one
They
here.
were singing high shit in '87. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
I was wondering if you're gonna go low, like kind of a lounge kind of.
Listen, I think you should get a half a tip just for being able to hit those notes.
Warmed up. At
Right.
all.
Because it was pretty good.
That was pretty good. Both of you are pretty good.
I started to get a little. No.
Oh, look who it is. Fleetwood Mac, Little Eyes. All right.
That's all I know of it.
Tell us lyrics, little lyrics.
I could turn the page and time that I'd rearrange just a day or two. Close my eyes, but I couldn't find a way. So I'll settle for one day to believe in you. Tell me lies. Tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies. Wow! I start trying to sing. Finish the lyrics. If I just finish the lyrics, I'd win this game. A point or two. But instead, I'm gonna die.
All right, let's see what you missed out on. Oh, no, you can't disguise.
Of course
It rhymes.
Yeah, you know.
I had that. I had it right in the back of my cockles.
And there's a hint. It was actually up there before it
It was. All right.
Well, see, and I thought that, but then I was like, surely not.
Surely not. Dr. Paul is going to take it away for our last one.
Last one, good. It's the last one, baby. I'm gonna do it down here. You know what I'm saying, man?
George Michael.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Father
I don't
figure.
know no George Michael over here.
No, Father. No, George Michael.
I know some, but I don't know this one.
All right, well, let's see. Let's test the one.
I will be your father figure.
I know that part. That's all I know. I don't know what it is.
Special, something sacred in your eyes. Just for one moment,
Do you want me naked? Naked? In your eyes, disguise. I don't know. Surprise. Something else that rhymes.
tell me lies.
Tell me sweet little lies.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm very. So we talked about this off air, but this is very much twins.
Yeah.
There you go. Now I'm Danny DeVito, and you're yeah, you know.
No, I'm Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger.
Get to the shopper.
Get to the lyrics. Do it now.
No. It's not a tumor.
Let's see what it is. Tell us what it is, doctor.
What is
It's
it?
not a tumor.
It's at
At
your
your
side.
side.
That rhymes.
Yeah, you know.
I
It's
should have.
up
I
there.
went through the whole lexicon of rhyming words and
Side by
I got nothing.
All right. Well, let's glide into some commercials.
Glide.
And
I
we'll
see what you
tally
did
the
there.
points, and then we'll ride our way back here into the studio and in the show. Stick around.
Classic Rock Coffee. Our coffee rocks.
Welcome back. We are all done with the games and the fun and the lyrics and such. So let's see what our big winner is. It looks like the score, Johnny. It wasn't you. Sorry, buddy. Dr. Paul.
I won.
You're the
won.
big wiener.
I knew we should have done
Man, I
Rock'em
win.
Sock'em Robots.
I know, right? We're this close to bringing them out, too.
Do I get the fake butt?
Well, you might get a fake butt. That's what we give away on this show.
Fake butts, you cannot lie.
I'm no plastic surgeon, but that's one thing I've got plenty of is fake butts. Where's this going? So, since you're the big winner today, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you, follow you, or hear you next?
Yeah, so we got, let's see. Let me look. So we got Gottlieb Groove is at Knuckleheads on Friday, September 2nd. With
Short
the
ride to
Beach
Kansas
Boys
City.
tribute. Yes. Then Innuendo is at Humansville at Murphy's Pub Festival on the 3rd. That's a Saturday. City Girls Eagles Tribute is, I believe that's Humansville on the 16th. And then Innuendo is at Galloway on the 24th.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah, it's got a busy month.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Do you enjoy being that busy playing bands?
I do.
Good.
I more the merrier. You know,
I love
sleep
hearing
when
that.
we're dead.
Dude, tell me about it.
You know,
what about your podcast? Where can people and when can people hear
so
that?
That's at compasshealthnetwork.org. Look under videos, tools to cope, and they're all there, starting back at the very first episode from when the pandemic hit, and up till just yesterday, a new released one.
There you go. And are you sharing that on your page as well, on your Facebook, if people are just following you?
When I remember to do it, I share it.
Same.
But it's also on. I think it's on YouTube, on the Compass Health channel. So.
Yeah. So there you go. Hit the subscribe button. You won't have to search for it again.
Yeah.
Very cool. Paul, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
Really,
Thanks for having me, brother.
You bet. Johnny, dude, we're gonna have to do this again and get you more
I
than
won
1
the
point.
karaoke part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's the king.
It's all
Right.
matters. He's the king.
He's the king. Can't go on. He can't go on. Okay. Johnny, where can people find and follow you?
Well, they can follow me at Johnny Cross on Facebook, Cross Entertainment on Facebook, Kings of Karaoke on Facebook. We're also on Instagram and TikTok and all those little jazzy places and snazzy.
Do you know any good TikTok dances?
Dances?
Yeah, come on.
Like you're talking about like the...
My money don't wiggle, wiggle.
I mean,
it folds.
This is the dance I always do when I'm in the bar. I like to look at people from across the room.
Without
and do that.
blinking?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I like to stare them dead in the eye.
They
man. Love it.
Let me call the cops on that.
That's great.
Right now. Almost put me in a trance. Very cool. So, guys, thank you so much for coming back on the show. I know this is your second visit. Things have changed over the years since you guys have been here, so it means a lot to have you back on.
Always fun, though.
On September 10th, we're going to have a giant anniversary party for Stepchild Lounge at the Stepchild Lounge. It's going to be all day into the evening, karaoke inside, live music outside, lots of food and dancing and partying and stuff like that.
It sounds like a good time.
September 10.
Hopefully nobody blows a breaker. If you know, you know.
I know.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's show. Thank you guys so much for stopping in and tuning in, having a little fun with us. Don't forget that times are hard for everybody right now, so may your cup of coffee and your love of music be strong, and your knowledge of lyrics, but your sense of humor be even stronger. We'll see you right here next week at 5 o'clock. Till then, bye-bye.